I know that probably sounds like a lot of noise for you guys here on the thing. Come on into the room, be coachable, teachable, trainable, post your city and state where you're catching this Watch Me Work Wednesday information from. My name is Brand Master Martina Britt Yelverton, and I'm your cash flow queen and founder of the #1 legal tax hat to hire your kids in your own home-based business. So should you choose to do that, typically you'll find me on Watch Me Work Wednesdays, Teach You Tuesdays, and Set Up Sundays, helping my Gen X and my boomers, right, to get your assets in order and go from stuck and struggling to gaining impact and influence inside of the speaker realm as an aspiring, new, and emerging speaker who currently has no earthly idea how to do what it is that we do. What's going on, Adrian? Come on into the room, guys. Be coachable, teachable, trainable. So should you choose to do so, and post a semblance of where you are actually watching this information from. Share this out to others that you may know need information with understanding how to brand themselves and how to get started in this particular realm and what the impact of getting started in this realm means. Okay, what's going on, Lakeisha? What this means as far as how you do it, what assets that you need to have in order, what specific assets are we talking about, and how do you get started? And so I did go ahead and title it Watch Me Work Wednesday because I was not available yesterday for Teach You Tuesday to give you, a bit of content and training and all that good. So I did want to take the opportunity to come on live today and to spend a little bit of time with you guys on today before we hit the gym. It is normally Wednesday, Thursday, Saturdays, and Sundays that my son and I pick up on the gym. We've been pretty diligent. We laid off for the last couple of weeks due to weather, due to sicknesses and ailments we've been going through due to, eating a bit too much during Thanksgiving, all of these different reasons. We were not available to hit the gym, but we hit the gym and we're back on schedule tonight. So I wanted to take the opportunity to come and chat with you guys on today. What's going on, Nancy? So good to see you. So good to see you. Let me make sure I'm greeting you guys. Hey there, Lily. Thank you guys again for joining on TikTok. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you also for my other platformers who are going to be joining. Again, post your city and state. So should you choose to let me know where this information that I'm sharing with you guys is reaching out here in the internet street. And again, my name is Brand Master Martina Britt Yelverton, and literally I help the Gen X and the Boomer to get outside of their comfort zone, to stop struggling with technology, to learn how to use social media, to learn how to develop their brand, to learn how to grow their brand. I am very well, Nancy. How are you on today? Thank you so much for asking. I appreciate that. Not everybody asks, or people ask absent-mindedly and don't wait for the answer. So I am doing beyond amazing. I hope that you are as well. How are you? What's going on to all of you that are tapping in, sharing, and showing your love? I really appreciate it. And definitely, I want to wait and see how you are doing before we move on. Because again, have you all noticed that people do that? People say, hey, how you doing? Oh, I'm good. And you? And then they move right on. They never wait for the answer. I literally want to know how you guys are doing. Okay. If you are sane, mobile, and breathing, you are good. And I'm just talking about not regular good, but you are good. You are good. So I hope that you are good. Hey there, Mim. So good to see you. Your name sounds very familiar. I feel like I want to say I may have heard your name over in Heather R's room. That could be a possibility. I believe she said Mims may be her mentor and her coach. So welcome on into the room. I greatly appreciate it. So again, guys, tonight I'm actually going to be discussing information with you guys, the boomers, okay, the Gen X, okay, so that you guys can actually get your assets in order. So I have seen this flash before, and I want to see today if I can know what it means. It says 3 gifters in a row sent to your live in 15 minutes. So I'm going to select to start that and pin that because I've never done that before. Okay. But I'm trying to get used to some of the bells and whistles that are inside of this platform so that I can learn how to do it. And I think the flash goal allows one person each to do whatever the flash goal is so that we can meet our goal. So thank you so much for Nancy, to Nancy for helping me reach my first flash goal. Yay. Okay. But I appreciate that. Come on into the room. So good to see you as well. Hey there. Hey. So again, what I'm actually going to be discussing on today in this time that I have with you guys tonight on Watch Me Work Wednesday is the mindset behind getting your brand started. What are those assets that you need to have in place? What does it mean to get your assets in order? Why you need to get your assets in order? When, where? Because if you follow me at any time, I like to speak in the 5 W's, okay? And the reason I speak in the 5 W's is because it helps you to remember. You can literally remember when you were in school, if you are a Gen X or a boomer like myself, when we were in school, we learned a lot by the 5 W's, right? We learned by the 5 W's. That is the foundation of each and everything, when you went to school during I Day. And it allowed us to remember so well, right? So currently, I don't know what the foundation is of the education system and how they're actually learning these days, but for me, it worked very well. Okay. It allowed me to remember a lot. So while I teach you guys the 5 W's of branding across all of my platforms, you're available to check out all of the platforms and you're available to see how I teach self-love, how I teach the 5 W's of branding specific to today. We're going to talk about some 5 W's associated with how to get your assets in order. I hope that it's okay. If it's okay, type 5 W's in the chat and I'll know that you are following. Yes, type 5 W's in the chat and I will know that you are following, that it makes sense to you. And then we can jump right into what those 5 W's are so that we don't make this long-winded, but so that we actually are here for a good time, not a long time. I know y'all, I think it's Mr. Make It Happen that says that over. I think he says it over on IG or FB. He says we here for a good time, not a long time, right? So I want to make sure I make the best use of your time. So if you want to jump right into that, type 5 W's in the chat and we can actually get started on that. I also want to take the opportunity to pull up my notes and see if I can make sure I stay on task. Okay. Thank you so much for liking the live, Nancy. I appreciate it. Thank you guys for popping your city and state. There was an option in here on this platform for me to let the comments show on stage. So I need to make sure that I turn that on as well, so I can make sure that when you guys comment on stage on that platform that they can see it. Hey, they're fine. So good to see you as well. If you would like, please help me make my flash goal. Yes, 5 W's. Okay, she put www. That will work. Those are 5 W's. And I'm going to talk about each and every W just to let you guys know it's the what, it's the when, it's the where, it's the why, and it's the who. And I always give a bonus and I discuss the how. Because as you know, out here in these internet streets, people are so good, okay, about giving you all the information, but they never tell you the how. Hey there, Yolanda. So good to see you. Come on into the room. I appreciate you. Yes, they are so good about giving you those 5 W's, but they don't give you the how. And there's a W in how. So I always give you the bonus how as well. All right. So what I want to do, like I said, is I want to go in and I want to pull up my notes. Today is a Watch Me Work Wednesday. And so you're actually watching me work, right? Multiple platforms, because again, you don't want to be just on one platform. You may want to master one, but you want to be available on multiple platforms because that's the only way you're going to determine who and where your audience is, where they're actually chiming in, who they actually are, okay, where they're located and all that. By doing what? At least being available on multiple platforms so that you can find out where your audience is. How do you find out where your audience is? You use the analytics. You don't have to guess. The analytics will tell you, okay? So before I jump into that, I want to take the opportunity to do a roll call. I want to do what? Call the roll. What do they check attendance? There you go. Check attendance and see who's in the room with us. Currently, we have Nancy L. Ellis in the room. She has over 1,000 followers, nearing the $2,000 mark. And she actually doesn't have an extensive bio, so I can't tell people what it is you do, Nancy. I'm going to need you to update your bio so that when I do the attendance, I can tell people who you are and why they should join you, why they should be interested in you, why they should follow you, and all that good. And that looks like my guy, David Banner, I think, in the picture with you. So go girl, right? Go ahead and get that information. So let's check on Yolanda. Yolanda has nearly 5,000 followers. Okay. She is Owens Document Services, LLC, a notary, a mentor, and an educator. She has a master's in business administration. Book Ron session here. Book Ron. Am I saying that right? Ron? Book Ron session here. so that you can actually find out more about her. If that is something that you're interested in doing and find that you are aligned with her, take the opportunity to follow her and learn more about her, right? Connect with her. That's the reason that we should be on these social media platforms, okay? We should be on these platforms to make connections. Remote online notary. Thank you. I appreciate that. Clarity achieved. Yay. Okay. So again, if you'd like to help me meet my flash goal, go ahead and pop the rose down there. You can only do it once per person. Then TikTok will know that we in here doing what it is that we're supposed to be doing, right? Welcome Black Watch to the room. Thank you, Yolanda. I appreciate that. We are almost there. Then maybe they'll leave me alone and let me get right into my information, right? So let me grab my notes here so that I can stay on topic and help you guys with the structure. So part of the description that is on my other platforms that TikTok currently doesn't allow me to really expand on here inside of the description information that I put up. It's talking today. Let me go ahead and mute this so it doesn't double sound here. Part of the information that I have set as today's description to let people who are watching this, hey, lovely D, come on into the room, be coachable, teachable, trainable, and let me know where you're chiming in from. Part of the information that's not available for me to put inside TikTok is actually letting you guys know that if you are a Gen X or a boomer entrepreneur, you're 50 plus, right? And you're actually transitioning from your W-2 job maybe into your 1099 career. I'm trying to help you with the branding, the basics, the foundation, hey, Paula Ann, that you need to actually be successful in the social media streets, in the physical streets, right? I'm helping you guys to get that in order. So all your assets are in order so that professional businesses are interested in partnering with you, supporting you, and in many cases, funding you, right? We have created and generated partnership deals going forward, especially in 2026, to help you guys with all of that, all right? And so what I'm discussing with you on today, I want you to understand that my job today is to help you walk away with brand information that you need to help you get your assets in order before you begin to brand. Hey, Dinah, before you begin to brand, all right, to help you understand that your wisdom and your experience on that W-2 can transition to a 1099, right? And to also help you understand that you're not building a hobby, you're out here to generate a legacy. If that is your goal, type legacy in the chat so I'll know we're on the same page. So I'll know we're simpatico, right? So I'll know that what I'm about to tell you actually makes sense for you, and you will have your reason that you should set a spell, right? And pay attention to the information that I'm going to share with you. Hey there, Robbie. So good to see you, my friend. I want to pull this up for you and go ahead and take attendance for you, Robbie, because I don't believe you have a bio set, so I can't tell people why they should follow you. But hopefully if that is in there, I can see it in just a moment. But taking attendance, Dinah Simon is in the room, over 1,000 followers. She loves music, walking, amateur photography, and reading. And she is I'm assuming this is Boomer Earned. Let me know if I got that right. Check in with her. If anything that I just mentioned in her bio is simpatico for you, then definitely take the opportunity to follow her. Let's see. I need to work on that. Yes, ma'am. Let's work on that, because when you enter certain rooms and we are doing a roll call, we're checking attendance. There's no way for us to tell other people why they should follow you. And as you know, from our training with Heather R., we don't follow everybody. We check the image, we check the bio, we check the followers, and we determine whether or not we're aligned, whether or not it's a good fit, right? Before we actually just absentmindedly follow people. Why? Because connections matter. That energy matters. And you're not on here just to be connected to everybody. Yes, I said everybody, right? You're not on here to be connected to everybody. You're on here to be connected to people that will actually elevate you and that you can have a reciprocal relationship with, and you can elevate them as well. So you want to take the opportunity to follow people where it actually makes sense, right? Right or right. Okay, so I did see someone type legacy, so you do understand where we're going with this information and you're interested in this information. Hey, DJ Jeff. Hey there. So good to see each of you that are coming into the room, being coachable, teachable, trainable, right? And posting your city and state so that I can know, or just your state, so I can know where this information is reaching. That is helpful just for me to understand. Although, guys, I can check the analytics and it'll tell me. But it's a part of being engaging in the comments. So that's the reason that I asked. So as I was saying, TikTok does not allow me to post on here all of the description for the reason that I'm hosting this information on today. And again, today's Watch Me Work information is about helping you guys set the foundation that's needed to get your assets in order as a Gen X, as a boomer who's interested in transitioning from their W-2 life into their 1099 life and how to leave a legacy, right? We have collaborative partnerships that are coming in the year of 2026. And I want to make sure that you guys know who we are connected with and how that will benefit you going forward. So let me take a breath, right, and pull up my notes as I was going to do. Got distracted by a comment, but let me pull up my notes so that I can make sure you understand a bit of the information that I'm going to be discussing today for the assets that we're talking about today. And the way that I'm actually delivering this information on today is a slight bit different than the way I would deliver the 5 W's of branding. So I want to make sure that I pull those notes over here in front of me and that I have those available to make sure that I don't miss a beat. Okay, because I don't want you guys to miss out on this information. So that's the reason I'm pulling up my notes on today. Typically, you guys know I don't, I shoot from the hip. I make sure I follow my blueprint, but I shoot from the hip. And so I want to make sure that even on today that I am doing that and giving you this information. So let me press pause for a minute, take me a sip and find that information for you guys. Let's trust and believe. I literally came prepared for this information on today. Mm-hmm. Anybody else playing their Christmas music right now? Hey there, Crystal. Crystal Holmes Assist. Am I pronouncing that correctly? Crystal Home Assist. Thank you for continuing to like the video, Nancy. You are a trooper on today. I appreciate that. So because of the call that we had last night with one of our collaborative partners, that would be Dwayne Williams of Mac Enterprise, I wanted to begin the process of making sure that the information that I put out, hey Tanya, will begin to bridge the gap from what I already put out here for what I've been doing for the past 20 years with helping startup businesses, new, stuck, or struggling businesses to get started. I wanted to be able to bridge the gap between what he shares and make it more cohesive with what I currently coach and teach, right? I wanted to be able to make sure that there is a blueprint established. I wanted to be able to literally shoot from the hip like I do using real world scenarios, making sure that I take the opportunity to use my current clientele, the provided permissions that I have for my current clientele to be able to provide you guys real world examples of what it is that I'm doing with these clients and what we've been doing over the span of the time that we've been doing it, but also how and why we are actually strategically changing up what we've done. So if you've had an opportunity to peruse any of the other platforms, you will see that I have said repeatedly that we've been in this game since 2005. 20 years. Hey, Allison Access, thank you for joining. I appreciate you. We've been in the business of doing this thing for 20 years, right? However, not 30 days ago, less than 30 days ago, we came upon Dwayne Williams and his information, and mind blown. Why? Because we've been teaching this structure for the last 10 years consistently, and he disrupted the entire industry with his information, right? Hey, Meek Mary, so good to see you. He disrupted the entire industry with this information. And I want to share why that is so crucially important to the information. So before I jump into that, let me take attendance real quick. Hey there, Allison, and I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Access over 5,000 followers taking attendance. She is legally blind disability. She is a legally blind disability rights lawyer. If that ain't niching down in the brand, go girl, girl. She wants to help you build your disability rights, knowledge, and advocacy skills, not legal advice. That's dope. So definitely take the opportunity, if that is of interest to you, to take the time to follow her, to get acquainted, because that could make sense for what it is that you're trying to do. And I want you to have the opportunity to connect with people that make sense for your journey. Next, we have Meek Mary, nearly 3,000 followers, and she's saying, living my best life. I know that's right. And minding my business. So good to see you. That doesn't really help me help others know why to follow you. I would love if there was a way that you could expand on that, so you could let us know why we should follow you. And definitely we will direct our audience to do just that. Right. And then also we have Nicole. She does not have a bio yet. She looks like she is brand spanking new. Welcome to the TikTok party with 236 followers. I wish you the best in growing your following. I don't know, because you don't have a bio yet, what your course of action here is on TikTok, but I wish you the absolute best as you continue to grow your learning on TikTok. Because you're new, I invite you to come to Heather R's room, typically 9:30 in the evening, because she helps the new TikTok individual grow to 1,000 plus followers. She is the educator for 0 to 1,000 current followers who are looking to grow their brand on TikTok, to grow their followers, to grow their value. So that would be a person that would be of great value to you, to partner with and to come and learn from, if you're open and interested in that. Taking attendance one more time before I move on. 26 followers, brand new, JYL Horton. So good to have you in the room. And then also, lastly, before I move on, Jen, I'm not even going to try and mess that up. I'm just going to spell that out. How about that? Because I really don't want to mess that up. JINELLEC. Brand spanking new here to TikTok, 5 followers. I wish you growth here on TikTok, and that whatever your goal is, that you are available to meet that goal. And so again, talking with you guys specifically today about the journey here with getting your assets in order. I want to say to you guys, and then if you don't leave a comment on the other platforms here inside of the platform, I can't, announce you. I can't check your profile. I can't check your bio. I can't check you out. I can't shout you out. I can't bring you into the platform or any of that. But I do appreciate you liking, loving the actual live. But definitely you can comment. Let me know in what region of the world you're chiming in from, because that would, again, help me understand who the following is. But let me jump right into this information. Hey there, Salt of the Ear. So good to see you. Let me jump right into this information after, and we'll come back and do additional roll call in just a moment. But the 5 W's with regards to how to get your assets in order. The very first thing that you have to understand is alignment. Okay. By alignment, I'm talking about alignment to your own purpose, passion, and all of that first and foremost. If that makes a sense to you, type A in the chat for alignment so that I'll know that you understand. Alignment is the very first thing that you need to ensure. Alignment with yourself, what your own thought process are, alignment with if you are a believer, the one above, alignment with all of those that are even within your own family circle, your friend circle, your follower circle. Alignment is very important in helping you get your assets in order. Awareness is another A that could be populated for the getting your assets in order. Being aware of your own value, right? And what that means to your journey. Being aware of it, being assured that you are aligned in it, because if you have no earthly idea what value it is that you bring into the industry, what would you be starting a business doing? If you have no alignment, you have no awareness, what are you doing? How are you thinking you're going to shift from the W-2 job into the 1099 platform? How do you think it's possible for you to do that if you have no awareness of your value, if you have no alignment, if you have no earthly idea? How are you going to do anything? How are you going to give anything? How are you going to generate any type of income? How are you going to proceed with putting any type of content out if you are not first aware of your value, right? And so, in that A framework that we're talking about today, you have to be aligned, you have to be aware. Because again, without all of that, exactly what it look, how they say, how you gonna do what it is that you're trying to do? How do you know what it is that you're trying to do? You know, just to come outside of my professional side for a moment, houseway, okay, houseway, how exactly is that supposed to work? So you have to be able to pay attention and become aware of not only what it is that you have, but then you have to actually be paying attention to what do the people need. If you have no earthly idea what it is that the people need, what are you aligning yourself with? Does that make sense? Right? I hope that makes sense. If you are not aligned, what are you out here doing? Houseway, as I say, how exactly does that work? So you have to be aligned, you have to be aware, and you have to know, what it is that you are trying to do. So again, come on into the room, guys. I think I am nearing the end of my flash goal. If somebody wants to tap that rose to send me the final rose, I probably will meet the goal and we'll be good to go. And I greatly appreciate you for it. I've not done flash goals before on this platform. I have no earthly idea what specifically the flash goal means, other than you're doing something and you're letting TikTok know that your viewers are interested in what it is that you are actually saying. So they ask you to do something within a certain amount of time. Yay. Okay. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate you. How are you doing, Natasha, on today? I appreciate your follow. I value your follow, and thank you so much for that. So again, if you are not aligned, that is the first flag that should be a red flag that should be going up for you, that you have your assets out of order. Okay. Again, in the mindset of getting your assets in order, the first thing that we're talking about today is the A in those assets. And I'm letting you know that you need to be aligned, that you need to be aware of what your value is. If that makes sense, type A in the chat and we can move right on. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you guys for sticking and staying to gather this information. Natasha and JYL Horton, Salt of the Earth, 6 foot. And it would be nice if you guys could drop a comment, because then it actually shows me more information. I'm available to read your bio, I believe, and I can let people know why they should actually follow you as well. Welcome, sweet lady. So good to see you. And I can let them know, why you should pick up their follow as well. So thank you all for that. Thank you for the engagement. Thank you for the likes and all of that. Oh my goodness. Thank you for the heart meet. That is dope. I get excited when I see people chime in, when they engage, when they let me know, hey there, Queen Lex, when they let me know that the information I'm sharing makes sense to them. Okay. So let's move into more about this alignment, more about this awareness. As I said when I started the live, and as you will hear me repeat with all information that I share here publicly on all the platforms that we're streaming on today. Hey, cats, on all the platforms that we're streaming on today, the 5 W's is crucially important with regards to how we learned as a Gen X and as a boomer, right? And in my opinion, it is a great foundation for how to move forward with learning. So if we were going to talk about the 5 W's of alignment or awareness, as I said, it's the what, the when, the where, the why, the who, all of that. And I generally give a bonus for the how. When I'm teaching things in this vein, it sticks because I stick to the foundational way that most people learn, and they learn by the 5 W's. So again, when we're talking about alignment and we're starting with the first what it is alignment, coming into alignment. What it is becoming aware, of your surroundings, meaning your family, your business. Thank you so much for that. Your family, your business, your followers, your friends, your circle of influence, your network. What are they all doing? Why should you be aligned with them? Okay. So if I'm looking at and I'm taking attendance here on TikTok, because it's such an interactive platform, and I would be looking at 6'5" and going, what about you should I be aligned with? What about Ty, my bestie, my life coach, should I be aligned with? JYL, Salt of the Earth, Nicole, Natasha, all of you. What is it that you currently have in your arsenal that allows me to do what? Be aligned with you. If you don't know what you do, how in the world, okay, would you expect me to align with you? So you need to know what value you bring. Your awareness needs to be on point. You need to know and be aware. That's another A. Again, type A in the chat if you understand where we're going with alignment and awareness. You need to know what that is, right? Jot that down if you know in your notes if you need to. What that is, okay? The next part of that is you want to make sure when should you become aligned with someone? Again, if I'm checking your bios on here, if I'm checking your profiles on multiple platforms, if I'm looking into that, when should I become aligned with you? Number one, when I see you are consistent. Okay. If you're consistent, then of course I can see that you are a person that I can be aligned with. If you are aware of what your value is, then I can determine, now that you have become aware of what your value is and you're putting that information out, whether you're putting it out here on social media or whether you're putting it out on a website, if you're putting it out in a blog, if you're putting it out, in any type of vlogs, any type of content creation, books, ebooks, physical books, journals, if you're on podcast, if you're doing things consistently, and now I know where to find you, yet again, now I can understand why I should become aligned with you. These are some of the 5 W's, very easy to understand, about getting your assets in order. So again, thank you for that. Alignment and awareness. Yes. A for that. Becoming aligned and becoming aware of what it is that you have. Those are the assets that you need to get in order. Okay. Beyond that, let's move into the second one, S. And I was got distracted trying to jump right into giving you guys this information, because the reason I started this on today, this watch me work this out and how we're doing all this newness, is because I got a new set of instructions for how to make this make sense, how to make these assets make sense for what it is that we're doing along this journey. How do we move through the process of checking your assets to see if they are in order? How do we move through the process of seeing what the S is, the next S, the E, and the T, and the final S? What are those assets that you have that are needing to be gotten in order, right? What are the steps along the journey of branding? Like all of this, why are we saying through our new partnership that LLCs are not the way to go? What are all these different things that we're going through, right? I'm going to break that down for you. So yes, again, in the A of your branding strategy, of getting your assets in order, of being on social media platforms, of knowing what your niche is, of being able to find out who your target audience is, making sure that whatever your value is, it is uniquely positioned to serve others, right? As well as, what does that brand positioning look like? All of this is under the alignment and the awareness of the A, and how to get your assets in order as a boomer, as a Gen X, as a person who is currently wisdom deep, decades deep on the job. And now you done decided you want to get out here and speak. Or now you've decided you want to get out here and you want to start a business. What does that look like with regards to your alignment and your awareness? Is that horse beat dead? Do you all understand those particular areas? The alignment and the awareness, that you need a niche, who it is that you're going to be speaking to, what specific value do you bring to the table? What does that look like in the atmosphere of the other people that you are amongst? That's what brand positioning means. So many of you are joining the room. I greatly appreciate it. Take the opportunity to tap the screen if this information makes sense to you, and let this algo know that you all are in here learning something good. Hey there, love you. Let the algo know that you guys are in here loving something good. But before I move on to the S, I do want to take attendance really quickly and say the self-love master, yes, has nearly 3,000 followers. Self-love is the best love relationship and family coach. And she has more information in there for you guys to look, see, and follow her. If that is something that your information that you are interested in, take the opportunity to look, to like, to follow. Girl, let me tell you, I decided I wanted to start doing PJ posting. My daughter literally has bought me 3 sets of PJs so far. And so I figure, why not? They nice. Get on here and keep it going forward, right? Alignment, awareness, niche, specification. Yes, specific value. Got it. Thank you so much for that confirmation, 6 foot. Now I feel like I can move forward, right? Before I move forward, we also have Love You in the building. Love You has nearly 400 followers. Get me a bio, sis, so I can tell people who you are, why you exist on TikTok, and why they need to follow you. I greatly appreciate it. All right. So next, let's talk about the S. So the first S in how to get your assets in order as a Gen X or a boomer who may be transitioning from the job. Your decades of wisdom is important. And now moving out here to this 1099 world, who may be looking to move forward with a speaking career or a business aspiration, starting a business, you may be stuck or struggling, right? The next S, or the first S, right inside of this, is your story. Your origin story. It matters. So if there's any opportunity for you to look at any of these platforms that we're streaming on today, I put a video up. It's been about 2 weeks now that talked about how I had to revisit my clientele and how I had to tell them that we didn't get it wrong. We actually got it right for what we knew at the time. We were instructed, we were educated, we were programmed, we were taught to go and get an LLC, right? To start our business. Why were we taught that? Can anyone type why they were told to get an LLC for their business? Can anybody type that and let me know? Hey, Ray Duncan, it's so good to see you. Can anybody tell me why they were taught to go and get an LLC? I know why I was. I just want to see if I'm aligned with any of you that are sticking and staying in the room. Why were you taught to go get the boy? Ding, ding, ding. Believe I have the opportunity to do penning up here, don't I? Ding, ding, ding. We were taught that it's separate. Thank you. Thank you, Salt of the Earth. We were taught that it separates you from your business. We were taught that it is the best protection. So good to see you, Ray. We were taught, thank you, Love You, that you won't be responsible. We were taught that business issues, like you would be protected from all of this. That's what we were taught. So what did I do? I began to teach that same mindset. Thank you so much for your heart, me. I appreciate it. I was taught to take that same information and I told others. There's something that I call the LIT method, right? LIT. I learn it, I implement it, and I teach it. And that's what I did for the last decade. I got so lit, created courses, actually had people come in for master classes. You guys got certificates from attending the master class, setting up your LLC, making sure everything was done properly. Literally for the last decade, guys, that is what I did. I got lit. I learned it, I implemented it, and I taught it. And then this good guy comes along one day and just shows up inside of Heather R's room, blessed everybody in the room. We had questions. We said, who that? We said, who is that? Who was that? And Heather R told us, go follow him. Number one, he's a good-hearted guy. He's a genuine guy. He's going to help you understand some things that are going to blow your mind. And so I did. I'm going to breathe for a moment, guys, because it was scary. It was really scary. Thank you so much for the shares, Ray. I appreciate it. I greatly appreciate it. I'm going to check attendance again in a minute. Please don't leave if you're looking for me to share with others why they should join you. I had to breathe for a minute when I landed on his information because I said, wait a minute. as in WAY apostrophe. Thank you so much for your heart, me. MENT. I said, wait a minute. Hold on. What do you mean an LLC is not the way to go? That is not protection. We are not protected. It is not the best protection. As you said, 6'5". Hey, Vanessa, come on into the room, my good friend, longtime friend. Yes. When we're exposed to the right information, 6 foot, I got to pin that again. When we're exposed to the right information, you can, yeah, you were there to, you saw me, Robbie. That's right. She was there. You saw me. You saw me on screen have a conniption fit. You saw this man tell me to go down the steps, go outside, and announce to the world I'm open for business. And you saw the light bulb go off. When I came back upstairs and he started going through the website, said, I told you not to go. And I told you not to go outside. Let me tell you, that is the best being in a house coat, going outside in 40-degree weather move I ever made. Why? Because I took in a fresh breath. I came back into my office like, let's see what this man is about to say. Because I just watched some of his videos. I binged watched YouTube and TikTok, and I was watching his information like, what are you talking about? I've been teaching this stuff for a decade. I got a whole course. I got people out here with certificates that completed the master class. What are you talking about? Mind you, we're still in the S. We're still in the first S, the second step, and to get your assets in order, okay? This is my origin story. I've been doing this for a decade, had a whole course created, and he said it's not protection. He said it's not the best protection. It's no protection. You are liable. And honestly, guys, if we all read the information for ourselves, if we stop doing what gurus are telling us so quickly, so fast, reading is fundamental, and you literally would not have proceeded because you would have read it for yourself. Just let that settle for a minute. I'm going to just let that settle for a minute. Because when he pulled up the IRS website, when he pulled up the Secretary of State's website, when he pulled up the websites that I literally sat on training and walked my clients, customers, and good friends through, when I told Ty and I showed it to her, her mind was blown. She said, wait a minute. WAY apostrophe MENT. She said, wait a minute. She said, I jumped on the guru bandwagon, didn't read, and learned to pay painful lesson. 6'5", so did I. So did Ty. And so are many of my clients that I reached out to. And I said to them, press pause. I have a client right now on the books. I'm sitting here right now with their information, building their website right now. And I literally had to tell them, press pause. I know that contract is on the table. I know you're going to be able to sign it. And if you should, go ahead and sign it. We will fix it after the fact. But I literally had to say to them, we have to redo your entire logo. Let's start with just the logo because the LLC was in the logo. Let me get back to my origin story. Woo-saw daggone it. I literally had a moment while I was glad I was receiving the accolades and he was looking through my entire brand, going through my website, going through my funnels, letting me know I had a 404 area that I immediately fixed because it was one of the $500 entry points that people had when they encountered my brand. I couldn't believe I didn't know the 404 era was working. So now I understand, certain hiccups that we were having. Again, okay, he was going through the entire branding and he was having a conniption fit. He was like, everything is in order. Everything is right here. You're just structured wrong. And yeah, we can fix that. That's an easy fix. Why was it an easy fix? Because so many of my other assets were in order. Woosah, that's actually what I walk clients through. how to get your assets in order. Mind you, the reason that we're kind of sticking here and stuck on the story part of this is because if people don't know you, if people can't invest in you, if people can't get to know you, like you, and trust you enough, they won't do business with you. Thank you. My daughter gave me these. She know I like to lead a house. That's the reason we bought a house. We bought a house, number one, after being evicted twice. Hello. In my 53 years, yes, I've been evicted twice. My daughter bought me PJs. And the reason I bought this house was because, number one, we won't never be evicted again. That's number one. Number two, the reason that we bought this house and the reason that we bought the house that we bought is because I wanted the house to be so nice, so me, so us, that I wouldn't have to leave home. That drives me batty. The amount of money we spend to buy a house and then the amount of time we spend in the job. Again, that's another story for another day. A complete testimony, sis. You've been there for the entire 53 years, probably 52 years of this journey. When we was 2 and 2 and toddling around somewhere, 2 and 1 and toddling around somewhere. You know the story because you've lived the story with me. Okay. People will know me, like me, and trust me enough because I am that transparent. See, my apologies for distracting from the topic. She said I'm only 21. Well, I'm only 23 then, daggone it. Okay. I received that. It's okay. The origin story, the reason that I tell the story is so that you guys can understand that I'm transparent about it. And so, like Dwayne said, so when I do flip the script and I say, hey, I got something sort of wrong and I need to help us fix it, people will be receptive to that. And they have been receptive to it. People will resonate. Your story will become relevant to them. They will understand you. They will believe you. They will trust you. They will like you. And they will do business. So yes, we need these companies, but if you don't start with a personal brand, they don't know who they're getting. Hey, Crystal, so good to see you. They don't know who they're getting. Okay, so you want to take the opportunity to develop that story. Now, if I were to read to you from one of my publications here, which I'm going to read it to you in a second, just so you can get a quick understanding, so we can synopsis the origin story of the assets that I'm talking about and the S in these assets. I'll read it to you real quick. It says that I made it beyond what could have been a dead-end situation. As a dedicated wife and mother, I found myself in a domestic violence situation, forcing me to relocate and recalculate my picket fence plans alone and with 4 children, okay, ages 6 months to age 13 at that time. I bet on my husband to take care of the house while I took care of the household because I had left my job in 2005, right? Betting on my husband. All right. Now, crediting God, yes, I do, with having a way of forcing me to use my talents purposed in me, right? I embarked on an entrepreneurial career to defy the odds, emerging as a sought-after brand solutionist in multiple MLM companies, right? I had to concurrently build my own brand and a youth lifestyle training brand, okay? I'm a founder while strategically flipping the script and changing my mind multiple times, right? Because then I started thinking that others who also had no idea that they could get paid, no idea that they could get paid to be a parent. And then more goes on in that article. I had no idea that you could get paid to be a parent. And I'm not talking about, the EIN, the earned income credit. I'm not talking about that. There are other ways that you can get paid to be a parent, right? So with regards to me putting that origin story out there, and there is a small part of it that I did want to make sure I didn't take the opportunity to miss. And that had to do with the origin story that I am a 4th generation business owner. My people, my people's people, my people's peoples, and they people have all been business owners. I was raised in Britt's funeral home and florist shop as a 5, 6, 7, 8-year-old toddling around in my grandmother's florist shop and my grandfather's TV repair shop, while my mother, 40-year mental health nurse, took care of us. Okay, that's my origin story. So now that you know that, I'm a real person. Yes, I love the fact that we have the internet out here and AI and everything that's going on with it, but I'm a real person, right? I've been on the journey that many of you have been on. Thank you again for all of your likes, all of your love, the tapping on the screen that you guys are giving me. My heart is warm. All of you that are staying in the room and getting this information, hopefully you are taking notes and you're implementing this information. Those of you who are watching on my multiple platforms, thank you so much for sticking and staying. If you would comment, I see the eyes, but if you guys aren't commenting, I can't shout you out, but I appreciate that. Okay. Yes. Legacy Foundation. I am legacy. Hello. I am legacy. I am my mother's wildest dreams. I am my father's seed. I didn't know until I was sitting at his funeral next to my sister that I had met for the very first time that day that my father had design prowess until the man who did the sermon pulled me into my office and handed me a set of tickets my father had designed during a sermon of his one day. I had no idea where my design prowess came from. I just assumed it was some deviations from my grandmother and her florist shop. Literally, that's where I thought it came from. Didn't know until I was sitting there next to my sister that I met for the very first time that day. Hello, origin story. You want to be able to take your origin story, getting back on task, and transform your narrative. You want to be able to control your story. You want to be able to control your narrative. You want to be able to look at that origin story and be able to go through the process of what you've gone through physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, the thing that you've gone through, and you want to be able to narrate that through your voice. You want to be able to put that information out into the world, into frameworks and methodologies and key messages, whether you're speaking on a platform or you're speaking on stages globally, whether you're speaking in magazine publications like I've been in, whether you're speaking inside of books. I'm a 10-time published author, right? Well, let's see if I can do this right. 4 of those have been collaboration. No, 6 of those have been collaborations. 4 of those have been my own works. Again, you have to be able to take your story, your message, and funnel it through all the processes so that when the people receive it, they know you, they like you, and they trust you enough to then do business with you. So not to make this long-winded, let me move into the second S. Go ahead and type S if you now understand the story, okay, that you need to create, that you need to understand, that you need to own, that you need to be okay with, that you need to understand, that you need to control and put out into these streets so that others can know you, like you, and trust you enough to do business with you. Thank you for the S's. I appreciate it. Right now, the second S in assets and how we get in your assets in order, okay, is the style, what it looks like, what it feels like, right? How it resonance, how it resonates, how it resides, how it lands, how it feels. What is your zhuzh, as I call it? I don't even know how we're going to spell that when we actually put it in the writing. But what is your zhuzh? What does the design look like? What do the brand colors look like? Do they make sense for your industry? You need to develop visual guidelines. You need to make sure that you have both stock and real photography. And these days we can say stock, real, and AI generated photography that all match one specific feeling. That is the style, the visual identity, the logo design, the brand colors and the fonts, the visual guidelines, the print media. One thing I say that you guys really need to pay attention to when I'm discussing the 5 W's of branding, that is the promise that resides in the mind of the other people is your brand. The promise, the idea, the niche, the product, the service, the thoughts, the feelings, all of that. Zhuzh. that resides in the mind, hey Tamara, of the other people. That's your brand. Now, do you understand why I say whether you're present or whether you're absent, your brand is always speaking on your behalf? Okay? Whether you're present or whether you're absent, your brand is always speaking on your behalf. And the best way that you can own your narrative and own your brand and work on this style, which is the feeling, the sensation. I might change that from style to sensation that others get, is to own your name. Okay? Do you understand the S? Do you understand the sensation? Do you understand the style for that second S and assets and the things that you need to do to begin to get your assets in order as a 50 plus person, as a Gen X, as a boomer who is out here trying to move from that job that is holding its constraints on you? Nothing against a job. Let me make sure I make that let me make sure I make that clear. Moms, homeschool mom, baddie in the room. Welcome to the stream. I appreciate you. Let me make sure that I make that make sense for you guys, okay? You must own your name. And I always say, first own your name. Then let's talk about the company that you're going to develop from that. Let's talk about your name, who you are, because you're the person that is going to be interacting on behalf of that company, right? You're the person that they're talking to. You're the person that they're going to go Google. You're the name that they're going to go look up. And even for my girls who decide, to get married, I say do your first and your middle name, okay? And by the way, make sure you own all of your kids' names as well. Make sure that you own that. Why? Because you will be able to continue to control the narrative. Who knew that the internet was going to do what it is currently doing? Who knew that the internet is what it is? Who knew that it was going to be what it was going to be? DJ Candy's world in the house. No one knew that. We had no idea. So if you don't take the opportunity to own your name, you cannot move forward with the E in these assets. And that E is execution. Type E if you get where we're going with this. Own your name, control the narrative. Yes. So the E in the execution part of this, we're talking about your brand assets. Thank you. She bad. Right? Thank you. I was trying to do the one that cheered. I missed it. Late to the party. The E is your asset, your execution. All right. We're talking about if you don't own a domain, I always suggest, let me see if I can get that pulled up. For those of you who are sticking and staying and watching on my other platforms, I greatly appreciate it. I go ahead and roll that asset across the bottom of the screen that tell you where to go to actually purchase your domains. Why? Because you need to be in charge of driving revenue into your own home. One of the ways you can be in charge of driving revenue into your own home is to own your name. Right? To own your name, you need to purchase your domain. One of the places you can purchase your domains are domains.familyfirstdesigns.com. Hopefully, I don't get no restriction on that, but you can do that, or you can look up there in the profile and you can actually come into the community. There's a link in there. You can come into the community. We go through all this. There are so many different channels in the community because there's so many different things we talk about. We're relaunching that in 2026, but let me not get off topic. Owning your name, purchasing your domain. Okay. Purchasing your domain, because once you own your domain, now when we're talking about the other brand assets like your websites, your marketing materials, your landing pages, your CRM, your quizzes, your funnels, right? Your lead magnets, your tripwires, your social media presence. Now you can consistently drop that information across all of your platforms. You can easily have an individual find you based on where you're sending them to. Why do I say that? Here's the best example that I can give you of that, right? And if I go in and I drop and take attendance, let me press pause for a minute because I don't want to miss the opportunity before you guys get back to your busy, busy lives, which I know you have busy lives. Let me roll from the bottom up. Vanessa Singleton, she is in the Baltimore, Maryland area, nearly 1,000 followers. She helps the 9 to 5 workers to get a pay raise, boost their credit, and multiple streams of income. Thank you so much for sticking and staying, my good friend of nearly a decade. Ray Duncan, also nearly 1,000 followers. You don't have a bio. I would love to be able to shout you out a little bit more than that. Let's get that taken care of. 6'5", legacy building through entrepreneurship and philanthropy. I thought I was going to get it on the first try. Building community with people and successful business. The 6'5" has nearly 200 followers. Brand new. Let's see if we can get you on and popping. And I did see your comment about personal branding. I got you covered. Come into the community. We can do more. And let's see, Homeschool Baddie holding down the #1 spot with over 10,000 followers. Christ first, praise God, hallelujah. Helping overwhelmed moms unlearn Jesus, relearn, and begin their healing journey. She's a live host multiple times per week. Again, if any of these individuals that I've just done a roll call for checking their attendance is of interest to you, is the A and getting your assets in order, and you are aligned with any of them, take the opportunity to follow them. Don't just follow them. Engage with their content. Show up on their lives. Take notes and implement the things that they tell you to do. Hello? It's important, not only for the algo, but it's important that you not still be in the same place next month, next year that you are in right now. And the only way that's going to happen is if you actually do what thus saith the creator tells you to do. Thank you so much. I am going to meet my goal today. Check that out. Thank you. I appreciate you. You're awesome as well. So again, guys, let me jump right into it. E for the execution, making sure that you own your name by owning the domain associated with your name. If you are female, due to the possibilities of you being married, you want to do your first and your middle name. If your first name and middle name, or even as males, if your first and last names are taken, consider I am, work with. Those are the 2 extensions that you could make. So I want to use, let's see, whose name did I see was the first and last? Let me not use that. Jane Smith. Pretty typical. You could look up Jane Ann Smith. You could look up Jane Smith and it be taken. So now you go look up I am Jane Smith. Taken, work with Jane Smith. Train with Jane Smith. Book with Jane. Did I make it make sense? Did I make it make sense? Own your name. Now, here's one thing before I get back to my notes and close out the T and the S of this. Here's one thing I need for you to understand. If you're thinking, but wait a minute, I don't have a business yet. I don't have a brand yet. But you're telling me I still need to go buy and own my name? What's the answer to that, y'all? Yes. Yeah. Yep. Uh-huh. Own your name. Now, do you all have any idea of what you should put on that name? Meaning, where, when someone types in that name, where should they land when they go to the internet and they own janesmith.com and they type it in and it goes somewhere, but they don't have a business, they don't have a brand, they don't even have social media yet. Boom. I like that. Let's pin that. Better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. Where do you think it should go? If they don't have a business, they don't have a brand, and they don't have any social media, where do you think that domain could possibly go if we're controlling the narrative? We don't know how to create videos yet. We don't know how to get online and tell our story yet. Where do you think it should go? Anybody have any ideas? Jeopardy music. Anybody know? Nope, they don't have any idea about a landing page. They don't know nothing about how to do none of that yet. I'm gonna give it about 5 more seconds. In 5, and 4, and 3. That's good, Vanessa. And 2, and 1. Okay, he said Secretary of State. She said in the pocket. She said email. She said landing page. All right, I'm going to pin this so I can come back to it. Thank you, Brandon A., and welcome to the stream. I suggest if you don't have a social media presence, you don't have a brand, you don't own a business, you have no idea how to create videos and links yet, I suggest if you have a job and you have a resume, create that resume as a PDF and then send your domain to your resume. Again, we are controlling the narrative. We want people to Google us and find what we want them to know about us. Remember, we don't have a business yet. We don't have a brand yet. We're the Gen X or the boomer who has worked a job and who has dedicated decades on the job. He said, how, Sway? Help. I got you. Brandon asked, what's the benefit of owning your name other than now? Let me pull that down so I can see all of it. Other than, it went away. It went away. Okay, here we go. What's the benefit of owning your names other than now it's public and easy to find for lawsuits? The reason I suggest that you own your name is because this part, Brandon, we're talking specifically for personal branding, not for ownership, not for business operations. We're just talking about controlling the narrative of your origin story, controlling the information that people find about you when they Google you. Not about lawsuits, not about business at all. Your personal brand, and I understand you're a little late to the party because we talked about it earlier, back in the S of your story and being able to put the information out about you personally, why you're deciding to possibly make a pivot from leaving your job and what is your story surround why you're doing what it is that you're doing. You don't want people going out here and finding any old thing about you that you couldn't control. You can put out your origin story the way you want to put it out. You can put out your decades on a job on a resume that doesn't have your home address on it. You can create your own resume and put the information out here about your decades on a job, how much wisdom and value you've brought to that job. You've been 30 years on a job doing XYZ. This is your experience. You can put that out here in a format when they type in janesmith.com. You can literally make that when they go there, it ends up on your resume. And now they can say, hey, this person is XYZ, blah, blah, blah. You control the narrative. Did not know that was possible. Yes, it is. You can make your domain go anywhere in the world you want it to go. Not only using domains, but also using subdomains. Different topic for a different day for a different party. Okay. The reason you want to be able to control the narrative is so that you can send people where you want people to go for whatever reason or purpose you want them to go to, because we're talking about personal branding, getting your assets in order before you end up with the big time guy, where now we're talking about corporate branding, business branding, getting all your company structures and all that set up. We're talking about you putting your voice out here before we even get over to the company. Because again, if there was no Dwayne Williams, there would be nobody that's leading us to Mac Enterprise and the immense value that that team is bringing to us. But because we're watching and getting to know Dwayne and we see his personal branding every day, and all his humility and his humbleness and his giving and his heart and everything he's sharing with us, we believe what he's built at Mac Enterprise. We trust what he's built at Mac Enterprise. His personal branding is the reason we go to the next step. Did that help? That is the E in the execution of get your assets in order. If it makes sense, type E, and now we can move on to the T. If it makes sense, type E. If I answered your question, Brandon, let me know. If you feel I fulfilled the expectation of your question, let me know. Let's see. 6 Foot said, are the services like Delete Me credible tool for owning my name? Ty, please write that down for me so I can research that, because you know I like to have answers to questions that are asked. Ty, as my voluntold moderator, please type that down, and make sure that I can get back to that, because I want to be able to answer that for you, 6'5". All right. But Brandon may not be here because I want to make sure that he's good before I move on. Brandon may have already left, which I hate. I didn't get the answer to that question before he could move on, but I hope I did. Free, so good to see you, Landra. My guys, let me tell you, Alandria, if you have not had the opportunity, I do want to take a quick time before she pops back out, because I just appreciate her lending the littlest of her time to me. Nearly 40,000 followers, helping you make money without reselling courses. I don't trade or send random DMs. So if you get something from another Alandria, it ain't her. Okay. Let me tell you, there are 3 people that really changed my life here on TikTok: Heather R., Nicole, and Alandria. Here, big time, huge on TikTok. These were the first 3 women that I began following when I came into these TikTok streets. Okay. And they were able to literally give me what I needed to understand how to leverage TikTok, how to get into these communities. And she allowed me to publish my 10th, okay, publication in my, I'm a 10-time published author. She allowed me to publish this in 48 hours. Okay, let me tell you. And as my digital products coach, she's probably going to get me, because you know I still ain't went in there and posted in the group like she told me to. In that regard, I am terribly uncoachable, teachable, or trainable right now, but I will get it done. Ty, please jot that down for me too before I get in real bad trouble with my coach, okay? I need to go in the group and put the success of this. So again, letting you guys know, if we got that correctly, we understand the E. I'm going to move into the last 2 letters, the T and the S, of how to get your assets in order as a GenX and a boomer out here in these internet streets and in these real streets, trying to figure out how to transition yourself from your W-2 to your 1099. The T is the traction. Okay. The T is the traction. The traction is the launch and the visibility of what you have spent the first 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, cool. Talk to you later, sis. The 1, 2, 3, the A, the S, the E, right? Of how do you make all of that visible, right? Your content strategy, your social media platforms, your speaking opportunities, your media presence, your community building. As I say, if you want to know more about the community, right up there is where you can pop in community.martinabrittyoverton.com. That will allow you to come into the community to understand what it is that I'm trying to help you guys to do right now. And I just missed that. Somebody gave me a heart me. Crystal Blake of Mac Enterprise is in the building. Thank you so much for gracing us with your presence. I'm actually discussing how to get your assets in order, okay, and go from stuck or struggling as a brand new speaker entrepreneur, a brand new business trying to brand yourself, who is leaving their job and maybe going out here and getting into the 1099 world. And what are the assets, okay, that you need to have in place before you end up doing things like business branding or corporate branding? Your personal brand is crucially important. And we're talking about your personal brand, and we're on the T, which is traction. That's your social media presence, your content strategy, your speaking opportunities, your media presence, your community building. And an aha moment that 6'5" just had a moment ago is that on the personal side of things, he didn't know that if you don't have a business, you don't have a brand, you don't have a company, you don't have any social media yet, you don't even know how to record a video of yourself. When you purchase your domain, he just learned that you can actually have your domain directly to your resume. This technology, this AI world that we are currently living in, everybody is Googling. They are digitally looking, they're on the internet, they are searching, they are trying, even the employers are on these internets, in these internet streets, and they are trying to find things about people, that they're going to hire. So why not control the narrative? We talk back in S. Why not control the narrative? One of the ways you can control the narrative is to own your name via a domain. And then you direct people where you want them to go. So now that we're on the T and about to close out with the final S, now that we're on the T, we're talking about the traction. If you have no idea how to set up a social media profile, that's what you need the brand master for. Because trust and believe, you can find out in YouTube University. You can find out all about it in that university. That information is available for you, right? Again, back in the story, in the origin part, you want to work with somebody who gets it. Okay, you want to work somebody who's walked the path. You want to work somebody like me that's been out here for a decade teaching people LLCs, but knows how to slam on the brakes when they run into someone that proves that information may have been right for that time, but it wasn't right for where we're going. Some people may be okay with that. I was not okay with it. I said, press pause, hold on. And by the way, all y'all clients, press pause too, because I can't tell you now in earnestly that is what is going to lead you to the final step of your legacy generation. Now that I know better, it's time that we do better, right? Now that I know better, it's time that we do better. Did y'all hear it? I'm going to say it one more time and louder for the people in the back. Now that I know better, and I apologize if I forget about you guys every now and again, please charge it to, I'm so used to talking people directly. Plus, y'all ain't commenting in the comments. Now that I know better, we gonna do better. And I know that's not proper English, but y'all get where I'm going, right? I cannot unlearn the information that Mac Enterprise shared with me. I cannot unlearn the truth that Dwayne Williams pulled up on a screen and showed me. I can't unlearn that. And instead of me continuing on my merry way, I said, press pause to everybody, ERR''BODY. I said, press pause to everybody. And I said, let's go get this thing right. Okay. So the traction, when you put that information out in your community, when you go set up your consistent social media, when you create a media presence by having your one sheet together, your landing pages together. That's right, Ty, I sure did. I called everybody and said, press pause. If you did renew it, don't renew it. If it's dissolved, don't reinstate it. Stop everything. Press pause because you ain't protected no way. If that ain't how I said it, tell the truth and shame the devil. That's exactly how I said it. Now, I was very professional on the video that I created and put out on social media. But in the conversations that I had, I said, press pause. Don't do another daggone thing. Right? Now, in your social media presence, in your media kits, in your landing pages, in the forms that you put out, in your content strategy, the way you're delivering your story, all of it becomes your traction. And if you can set it up inside of one system called a social planner, inside of one system where you can post to all your social media outlets at the same time, y'all know daggone well, there's no way I'm on LI, IG, FB, YT, Threads. I ain't on TY no more or X no more. TikTok, Pinterest. I'm on all of them with the exact same content. You can't say my consistent game ain't powerful. And that's because I use one system and it posts to all of them, right? Consistently, both personal, stock, and AI generated content. So I can ensure the GenX sees me. I can ensure the boomer sees me. I can ensure the millennial sees the AI stuff that they cool with. but it's the same content from one system, because there's no way you can be everywhere at all places at all times. Hopefully you guys are still here with me. I just had something pop up, a phone call came in. All right. You want traction. You want the content strategy. You want the speaking opportunities. And let me wrap this up with the final S, because I just deviated to it there. So if you got the T, you're good to go. Type T. I can tell you about the S because I just alluded to it. And that is your system, your operations. That is, what specific systems are you using to operate, automate, run your ads, do your AI, all of that on your behalf, while you either serve the people, stick and stay in love on your family, or you go out here and create your next system, your next product, your next niche, your next service. You got to have a system. You've got to have a system. All right. I have a system that does my forms, my surveys, my CRM, my social media planning, my websites, my funnels. It does it all. It does it all. I also have a separate system that does my streaming. Now, like, I'm sitting here talking to you guys on this phone, right? And this particular device is streaming out on 3 other platforms at the same time. All 3 of those platforms at the same time. What's going on, Thrive with Jen? Welcome to the party. I hate that you missed the A, the S, the E, and the T. I'm on the S of get your access in order, right? I'm closing out your system. I have one system that does all of the ads, the AI, and the automation. It does my CRM and my intake processes. It automates a lot of my responses. Like many of you who are sitting here watching me now, if you were to go up there and you were to use the link right then and there, it's going to automate a response to you. It's going to put you into the community. It's going to automate a response to you. And within the community, you automatically see all of these different resources, all of the videos, all of the reels, all of the things dealing with speakers, with branding, with my systems, everything that I use. I have a system that's over here streaming this to 3 other platforms while I'm talking to you guys on TikTok. Okay. Also, it is set up on a workflow. So even if you come in and you're interested in one thing, in 3 to 5 days, it's going to follow up with you. It's going to give you some more content, especially in the speaker realm. If you're interested in having me come to book, it's going to ask you to set an appointment. It's going to have you create a form to begin with to say why you want me to speak, what it is you want me to come speak on, what specific topic. It's going to ask you some questions about your audience. So I will know whether or not we're a fit, all the way back to the A, align, whether or not we're aligned. The system does all that. Then it's going to send you an automated response. Thank you, Jennifer. It's going to send you an automated response. That means Jennifer just went and joined the community, and it just gave me an alert on my phone that she just went and joined the community. Let them know whether or not you get a response automatically from my system. Okay. Breathe. Speaking. You check the boxes. You let me know who your audience is. You let me know your proposed budget. It's going to send you an automated email that says, hey, this is everything you just discussed. The team, the assistants will get back with you. Guess what happens in that email? It also goes ahead and it gives you an immediate speaking gig so that you can see what my speaking zhuzh is like. It automatically prompts you, hey, this person's going to follow up with you. But by the way, since you're here, this is one of the topics that I speak on. It gives you that information right then and there. You go ahead and you talk about exactly the alignment, the story, the style, the execution, the traction, and the system. It goes ahead right then and gives you a sizzle reel where you can see me speak about the 5 W's of branding. Once it finishes up in 3 days, it's going to follow up with you to ask you whether or not you booked an appointment. If you did book the appointment, it's not going to follow up and ask you if you booked the appointment. The appointment's going to come. We're going to get on the call. We're going to go through the call. While we're in the process of that, within 3 to 5 days, it's going to send you another email that gives you some testimonies from people who've actually heard me speak, who've actually attended my speaking, what their feedback was. It's also going to give you my speaker one sheet. I'm telling you guys, the system will save your life. Okay. It's also going to allow you to reach out to your people segmented. You may have people that came into your system or people that have come into my system and they're there just for speaking. They're not there for the business startup. So why would I send the business startup people system or speaking information? Why would I send the speaking people business information unless I know they're trying to start a speaker business? You see what I'm saying? Your system will save your life. So summing that up, thank you for moving me along. Alignment, story, style, execution, traction, and systems. If you go up there, you can join the community, you can look around, you can set a spell, and you can be prepared for the relaunch in 2026. Okay? Because while we started out doing it wrong and we taught people for 10 years, a whole decade, right? We understand what's coming in 2026. And I suggest you go ahead and get into the free community now. Maybe go ahead and structure your VIP day where we come together and we literally dig down deep, go step by step by step, do a brand audit, come up with your plan of action. So 2026, boom, will be done correctly. That's exactly where I'm going with it, right? Because it's your time. It's our time. Let's get it done together. So I hope that information has been good for you guys. I hope that, I can't say I hope that. I can say, I pray your minds have been open to receive it. And that not only will you receive it, but you will do something with it. You will execute, you will implement, you will go join the community. You will join the community. And you will be ready for all that's coming for us in 2026. I appreciate your time on tonight. I appreciate each and every one of you that decided to. Thank you, Tia, for coming into the community. I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys. Like I said, come back. Let me know whether or not it automated for you and you got what you need. Well done, clear and concise instructions. Boom. That's what I love to hear. That's what I like to know, that I made it as clear as you possibly can have it so that you can go and you can get stuff done. We are not here for a long time. We're here for a good time. And I want to make sure that you got what you came to get, even if you didn't know why you were coming into this room today. I'm going to take final attendance and I'll let you guys know. Thank you, homeschool mom Batty, for sticking and staying, for comment, and for engaging. Thank you, Vanessa, for sticking and staying, comment, and engaging. Thank you, 6 Foot, for having a mind open to receive some of the things that I said. Definitely go join the community. Meet me over in the community where I can help you and assist you with more. Thank you, Jen. Welcome to the community. I greatly appreciate it. Crystal Blake, so good to see you sticking and staying, because good God, I know you have a lot on your plate. I appreciate your time on today. And JYL Horton, I hope you take the opportunity to maybe come back at 9:30 over in Heather R's room to learn how you can get your bio put in there, to learn how she can help you go from 0 to 1,000 followers, whether you're wanting to be viral, which she doesn't teach, but she does teach you how to build a strong community so that you can be visible here on TikTok and so that you can walk out whatever your passion and purpose is. And at that time, you'll have more people that follow you because they will know more about you. Okay. Thank you all. She said, almost tapped to 20,000. Oh, you go ahead. Do what you got to do. Make it do what it do, baby. Okay. Make it do what it do. I greatly appreciate it. I don't pay a lot of attention to that, but I know the algo, it means something. I'm not going to sit here and hold you guys unless you have questions that I can answer. If you have questions that I can answer, I'll take the opportunity to answer those. If you guys have questions that you need for me to answer, I'll take the opportunity to answer those. But you guys have set a spell here and watch me work Wednesdays. I hope that you have been able to understand what I'm trying to do to help the Gen X and the Boomer to move forward. I hope you understand how my process fits into the bigger scheme of things that are coming in 2026. And while we will be growing our own companies, okay, to be able to do everything that we know awaits us inside of Mac Enterprise, while we're still right here learning and we're getting our footing and we're leaving our W-2s, or we're concurrently transitioning from our W-2s into 1099s, let's get our personal brand set up, rocking and rolling and ready to go. What system would you recommend for automation? Thank you so much for asking these questions. The first question here is, what system would I recommend for automation? I am an avid user and affiliate of GHL. That's Go High Level. So of course, if anybody's been paying attention, every recommendation that I give, every affiliate that I have always starts with whatever the affiliate product is, myname.com. So if you go to ghl.myname, martinabrittyoverton.com, you will get a 30-day free trial to actually learn the system. Compliments of your girl, right? There's an entire boot camp setup structure and all of that. I use GHL for everything outside of CANVA, StreamYard, and Zoom. That's my entire plan. Let's see. How do we schedule a good fit meet with you? So I have a 15-minute brand audit, but I, of course, like for people to first actually allow me to assess them. So if you go to assessment.martinabrittyoverton.com, first join the community, and in there you can just click the link instead of trying to spell all that out. But okay, if you go there, it will send you through a series of questions. And when you go through the series of questions, at the end of those questions, it will allow me to look at everything. You're welcome, homeschool mom Batty. It'll allow you. Did I do that? I don't know what that means. I don't know how to undo that. I didn't mean to do that. You guys know I'm still learning. Can somebody tell me how to drop you? Hi, sir. I have no idea how to drop you. I didn't mean to bring you. So I apologize. I'm still learning. I have no idea how to drop that. Can somebody help me understand how do I drop that? Because I have no clue. Decline, but you don't know how. Thank you, because I have no earthly idea. I'm still learning TikTok. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. 20,000. You all are the best. Thank you. Okay, so the other question that we just had, I want to make sure I answer that before we go. How do we schedule a good fit meet with you? I have a brand audit call, okay? And if you go to 15minutes.martinabrittyoverton.com, you can do that, but I prefer you come to the community and then you just click the assessment link in there, take the assessment, because then it's going to ask you to book that 15-minute call. That allows me to look at all your information before the call. That way I'm answering questions that make sense. Does that make sense? I don't want to just get on the call because all I'm going to do is pull up the assessment. Hey, Daddy Land, all I'm going to do is pull up the assessment. And then I'm going to ask you all the questions in the assessments. That's going to take your whole 15 minutes. So come into the community. Thank you so much for your heart, Meet. I appreciate it. Yeah, come into the community, click the link, take the assessment, set up the call. Then I can look at your information before the call. And now when I get on the call, I don't have to ask you those questions and I don't have to waste your valuable time. Because what I do with that information is my assistant and I, we comb through that information and I try to get an idea of what we can do immediately during that after that 15-minute appointment. Does that make sense? I hope you answered your question. Thank you so much for that question. It was a great question. So thank you guys for tapping me to 20K. I appreciate it. I've answered the questions that I saw come in. I'm excited. I hope you all can join me back here on Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I go live for Setup Sundays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Sunday. This particular Sunday, we will be broaching the next segment, which is vision. So your vision as a personal brand. And I'm excited to share that with you. Again, thank you for your time on today, for sticking and staying and receiving the information that I've shared with you, and transparently understand a pivot is coming. Something big is coming in 2026. And I hope that you will be there for it. I remember you. Yes. Thank you, Dottie. I appreciate that. I'm very impressed with the God in me as well. I'm very impressed with the God in me as well. Exactly. So I look forward to catching you guys on this Sunday. Go ahead and set it a reminder. When I finish with this, I'll go ahead and put the thank you, Roberta, for joining the community. I appreciate it. Automate it, guys. Automate it. I'll catch you guys on this Sunday. Thank you for all your help, Ty. I'll hit you up in a moment because I see you were sending me some information as well.